Hi, this is Kyle from In-A-Day Development. Welcome to our video tutorial on Statistical Functions Part 2. The 10b2 financial calculator can perform a variety of statistical functions. If you haven't yet watched the video for statistical data points, head over there now as it covered the basic mechanics of how to get your statistical data points set up. Okay, so we'll set up the same data points that I used in that video. Let's open the Recent Calculations window, double-click our saved statistical data points to reload them. Now that I've got that set up, switch back to the main calculator window. Okay, the orange shifted statistical functions are a bit more complicated than the blue shifted statistical functions. The reason I say they're complicated is that each orange shifted statistical function actually has two functions, and you switch between them with the orange shift swap. Let's get into it. Sharing the 7 button is the arithmetic mean function, aka the average. So I hit orange shift, arithmetic mean, and see that the mean of my x values is 37.5. I hit orange shift, swap, and see the mean of my y values is 13.73. Sharing the 8 button is the sample standard deviation, which assumes that the entered data is only a sample of a larger, more complete set of data. I click orange shift, sample standard deviation, and see that the sample standard deviation of my x values is 29.86. Orange shift swap tells me that the sample standard deviation of my y values is 2.08. The orange side of the 9 button is the population standard deviation button, which assumes that the data points I entered earlier are the entire set of data. I hit orange shift, population standard deviation, and find that the population standard deviation of the x values is 25.86. Orange shift swap tells me that the population standard deviation of the y values is 1.8. Sharing the 4 button is the x hat r function, which gets you the estimated x value given an entered value of y. Swapping gets us the correlation coefficient, which is a measure of the correlation between two variables x and y, giving a value between +1 and -1 inclusive. It is widely used in the sciences as a measure of the strength of linear dependence between two variables. Okay, so my first step is to enter the y value for which we want to find our estimated x value. Let's say 18. So I enter 18, hit input, and then hit orange shift x hat r, and see that my estimated x value is 123.97. I hit orange shift swap and see that my correlation coefficient is 0.71. The orange side of the 5 button is the y hat m function, which gets you the estimated y value given an entered value of x. Swapping gets you the slope of the calculated line, which is the calculator's best attempt at finding a line that fits all the data points pretty well. Since I want to find the y-intercept of the calculated line, I'm going to find the y value when x is 0. So I enter 0 and hit input, then orange shift and y hat m. I see that my y-intercept is 11.87. My slope is orange shift swap 0.05. So my line is pretty close to horizontal, not steep at all. Lastly, we get to the weighted average, which takes each x weighted by its corresponding y and finds the average. So hit orange shift, weighted average, and get 39.91. Thanks for watching, and make sure you get your 10b2 Financial Calculator app from the App Store for iPhone, iPad, Android, and macOS. If you have any questions about this example, please feel free to email us at theteam@inadaydevelopment.com.